Hi, sweet girl.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I just came from a listing appointment. Ooh,
It was terrible.
a lady that had some cats with no cat litter.
No cat sitter.
No cat litter.
Yeah. See, these cats are bad. Cats can be bad. Yeah.
I love cats, but you got to take care of them.
No, and you have to change their litter box very frequently, or they will pee wherever the heck they want to. So
I used to bleach my boys once a week.
bleach. Oh, the litter boxes, you mean? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I could totally see why you would do that though. I don't blame you for that. Let me grab I'm waiting for everybody else to climb in the room. Ayana is here too. Hi.
Oh, hello.
Hello, beautiful. Meet Felicia. I don't know if you know Felicia yet, but I want you
What?
two to meet. If you don't know each other, I would love for you guys to meet each other. Two of my favorite people right here in the room.
Hey,
Ayana is
Felicia.
in Georgia. There she is. Look at your hair, girl.
I
It's so
know.
cute for the summer.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know where the heck everybody else is, but they better come on
Look,
because there were like 70 people that were like, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, okay.
oh,
You
I
know,
hate when people do that,
me
but it
too. Me
happens
too.
all the time.
It happens every day, trust me. Back in the day, I used to actually charge people like a reservation fee. Like if you want to reserve your spot, it costs $10, and if you show up, I'll refund your money.
Right.
I had a whole lot less cancellations and I had a whole lot people show up just
Right.
by
Yeah.
making them put some skin in the game. So
Exactly.
it's really frustrating. It's really annoying, actually. I don't like
Well, let
it.
me ask you this. What platform did you refund with?
I did everything on Eventbrite. So
Hmm.
Eventbrite, like even when you charge $10, like before the whole thing settles, that day of the event, I could process refunds very easily.
Okay.
Before it actually, when you do free tickets, you don't ever know about this because it's free, like when you do free stuff. But when you have a ticket
Right.
price, you have the ability to go in and before it processes and pays you the money because it doesn't usually pay you until after the event is over.
Right.
So before it processes, and typically if I did it that same day, it was never a problem. It may give you a couple of days after. I don't remember how long it takes, but as long as I went in that day, I never had a problem with getting the refunds to the people. So, and every now and then I would make 20, 30, $40 because people would not show up and give me their $10. And the
Right.
reason I was doing it is because I was providing lunch. We was doing lunch and learns and bus tours, and the bus was expensive. The everything was expensive it was one of those things that I needed to, if you're not going to show up, I'm stuck with 10 lunches. And that was $150 that I was eating. So
Mm-hmm.
at least if they didn't show up, I at least covered the cost of their lunch.
Right.
So it worked out really great. People didn't mind it. And if the people didn't want to give me their $10 to secure their seat, I didn't really care because that meant that you probably were going to show up anyway. Hi,
Right.
Ronald. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi,
I'm glad you
Ronald.
found us. All right. Let me
Ayana,
get,
where in Georgia are you? Excuse me.
no, you're fine. Thanks.
Oh, I am in Evans, Georgia. Are you familiar with Augusta?
Somewhat. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. Oh, I have a sister down there. So I don't like those bridges. Oh, um, but yeah, I'm in the Augusta, Georgia area. It's literally right next to South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
Right.
sense too for me now that I know where you are, that makes sense as to why you are licensed in
R-
South Carolina as well on the LO
Right.
side. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
The things I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes. So
That's so
all right. I was really hoping we were going to have a whole bunch of people. I had breakout sessions planned for this, but we're going to make it work. We're going to do the best that we can. I just don't know how 60 people and I'm left with four. But it just is
I
baffling to
know.
me. And there's a lot that goes into these. I do a lot of prep work. I write each class. I'm writing the presentation for it. I'm usually giving handouts or a workbook. It's just a lot of work. So I'm grateful that you're here. Thanks for being here so much. We are going to finish 2026 strong. And for those of you that are going to watch this on the replay, you're missing out because we had something really big planned for the live event for the breakout sessions, but we're going to make the most of it. Here's the part that I will tell you is that I am feeling with all of my clients. I'm pretty emotive. I try to meet all of my coaching clients exactly where they are, and I am a holistic coach. So things that show up in your life show up in your business, and we usually have to work through some of those things because they impact how you show up for your clients and your business. They impact your drive, how you wake up in the morning, your motivation. It shows up everywhere. And so I will tell you, a lot of my clients right now are feeling the pain of the economy. They are worn out. They are tired. They are very disappointed in themselves. I'm hearing a lot of self-loathing, a lot of kicking themselves that they're not where they think that they should be. And I'm here to tell you that we are all feeling the exact same way. A year is a marathon. That is 12 months, 365 days. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining us. I don't know where we lost Rob or whatever his name was. We lost him, but I think I lost him, but glad you're here, Melissa. I want you to know everybody's feeling the same way. I want you to understand that, we're all dealing with um a lot of stressors. We're all dealing with a lot of you guys can see my screen okay, right? Let me move this guy.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am. Yeah.
okay, awesome. Thank you. We're all dealing with a lot of stressors. We're all carrying a lot of financial responsibility. Some of us are dealing with aging parents or parents that have just passed away. A lot of us are dealing with kid issues. Like everybody's dealing with something. Life is always going to show up. At the end of the day, what I want you to understand is that it does not matter what happened the first half of 2026. Today's session is about acknowledging what we have done thus far from January to June. And we are taking control of our business and changing what we're doing from June through December. Okay. So I want you to understand it doesn't matter what has been going on. Hold on one second. Cheryl, I'm teaching a mastermind right now. Eh, Okay, what's going on with like where did you try to go? Okay, I'm gonna text you the link right now. Okay. Thank you, love. All right, bye-bye. Poor thing. She said I'm trying to get in and I can't. So hold on. So bad. So sorry. Um, let's see here. I don't know why. Maybe that's why nobody's here. I don't know why people are like, I can't find the link. I can't find the link. Y'all didn't have any troubles. How'd y'all get in here?
Old link.
I went to the email I got,
Okay,
the,
perfect.
the last email.
Yeah, I'm always just trying to figure out why
So did
people are
I.
struggling to get in. So all right, perfect. Let me see if that will help. I'm so sorry about the disruption. All right, let me get back to my life here. Thanks for y'all being patient with me. Okay, so let's see if we can get these people in the room. I don't know why it's not letting them in. Oh, there she is. All right, there's Cheryl and Bob, I think. Thanks for joining us. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the trouble was with the link or why it wasn't working or what happened, but I'm glad that you're here. Let me go back to sharing my screen here. Let's ask a question real quick. What I was just saying, what I was starting with was it does not matter what the first half of 2026 looked like. At the end of the day, I have to break the year down into quarters, into months, into smaller bite-sized pieces because a year feels too overwhelming for me. My ADD brain cannot conceptualize 360 days or 350 or 45 days of activities to build my business because that's just too much to take on at one time. So I have to break it down into smaller pieces. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at and analyze the first half of the year. We're going to talk honestly about it with each other and honestly about it with ourselves and reflect on what our business has looked like, but then we're also going to hold ourselves accountable to some activities that we know we should have been done. We're going to share with each other. It's a small enough group. I had hoped that we would have a lot more people on the call so that we could do breakout rooms, and I had some things planned for that. But we're going to make the best of it. And then we are going to actually look at the second half of our year and just make some crucial decisions about how the second half of our year is going to feel and look differently than the first half. And my goal today is just to motivate you, to inspire you, to let you know that it's okay if you feel like you're struggling. It's okay if you feel like everything is heavy right now. It's okay if you feel like, you're carrying a lot and you're not happy with some of the results that you're getting. All of that is normal and all of that is perfectly acceptable. So if you guys don't mind in the chat for me, some of you smarties already did it for me, but how do you honestly feel about the first half of 2026? Do you feel like you crushed it? It was pretty good. It was a mixed bag. You're frustrated or you're ready for a fresh start. Let me know in the chat which one you are. Ayana's all over. She said pretty good. It's a mixed bag and she's frustrated. So I love that. And that's very honest. We feel all of that every day, I think. And Felicia, I love it. You should be very happy about your first half of 2026 for being brand new in this business. You've had some credible results and some credible activity already in the first half of the year. And I love the fact that you are very positive about it and you're happy with those results because you should be as a brand new agent. Melissa said frustrated, and girl, I got you. You and I are going to work on that together as well. But the frustration, you are not alone in the frustration. I am very frustrated with my personal business of production this year. I'm frustrated with the clients. I'm frustrated with the sellers who are not listening. I'm frustrated with the sellers who are having higher and higher demands, that they are harder to please. And I'm more frustrated with these buyers who are walking in expecting to practically steal a house because of market conditions, and they're not willing to do some of the things that they're just willing to walk away over something very minor. And I think that that's very frustrating for a seller too. Um, all right. So at the end of the day, what I want you to hear me tell you is that we are not trying to judge the first half. We're not going to dwell on mistakes and we are not comparing ourselves to others. Today's goal is about clarity. It's about getting momentum and it's about creating a plan for the next 6 months that we know is going to carry us through that structure and those systems and the rhythm are going to help us stay focused and not let all the outside influences of stress, anxiety, and all the stuff that we're carrying on our plates impact the actions that we take to run our business. Okay. So in the next 90 minutes or 60 minutes, however long you guys stay on the call, I'm going to ask you to leave all the judgment and the guilt, the fear, the burnout, disappointment, all the stuff that you're carrying. I'm going to ask that you leave all that stuff behind because today is about deciding what happens next. The first half of the year is over. The second half starts right now. So we started with honesty, no judging, no pretending, no realtor social media answers. We were honest about how we felt about the first half of the year. Um, I will tell you right now that your January goals really didn't matter, but um, I do want to know what your January goals were. Um, The goals you set 6 months ago, though, are pretty much irrelevant. I do know what most of your goals were because I coach most of you or have coached most of you in the room. But for those of you that are going to watch it on YouTube or later on the replay, your goals that you started out at the beginning of the year, you may not have been considering the changes in the market and how hard the market was going to become. You may not have anticipated a life event that took you out of your game. You may not have planned for a financial crisis that showed up in your home. You may not have planned for a health situation. Like that is the reality of when we sit down and do our goals at the end of the year previous for the next year. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the next year is going to look like. But what we know is what we're capable of. And when we set our goals and we make our intentions and we choose what this year is going to look like, we do that full of hope. We do that full of inspiration of what we know we're good at and what we can do. And we do that out of pushing ourselves to want more, to want to do more. Um, but I want you to understand that nobody is winning because of what happened in January. Winners are created by what they decide to do today. And today is day one. I will tell you, you don't need a new year. You don't need a new market. You don't need new tools. You don't even need more leads, to be honest with you. What you need is probably a reset. So let's take a mid-year assessment real quick because we do need to, and I need to drop that in the chat for you guys. We do need to have a very, Cheryl said the first 6 months were horrible. And I agree with you. I felt like this first 6 months were the dry, well, the Sahara Desert, it felt like sometimes that I felt like it was definitely not uh, not anything that I had seen in years and years, and that included even in
Yeah.
2008, right? I felt like even in 2008 with the crash of the market, I felt more confident about what I was doing in 2008 than I do today, which says a lot in a changing market like 2008, where people were losing everything they owned and there were no more buyers. I feel more stressed today than I did in 2008. And I think a lot of it has to do with the state of our economy, the state of the world, where people just do not have confidence in what's happening in the economy. They don't have confidence in their jobs. They don't have confidence in what the market might do. Even in 2008, when the market was crashing right before our eyes, people were still hopeful and knew that it was going to come back, right? That, oh, well, it will come back. It always does, kind of thing. And the reality is that right now, people are not saying that. What people are saying right now are it's doom and gloom, right? And Felicia said people in general seem unhappy these days, and I'm going to agree with you with that. I have always tried to be a super positive person. I work really hard on my mindset. I work really hard with my clients on their mindset to understand that there's a lot of negativity out there in the world, always. And you can find it everywhere if you're looking for negativity. What
Yeah.
there is not of is a lot of positivity to remind you that, you know what, this is just today, or this is just a situation, this is just circumstance, this is not forever. It's the same thing when we all say, oh, I had a horrible day today. No, you may have had a horrible hour. You may have even had a horrible 10 or 15 uncomfortable minutes. Your entire day was not horrible, but we bunch it all in and categorize it. But I work too hard on my mindset to let the external factors that are happening in the world today impact my mood. And it's very hard. But if you have somebody like me who has a very strong sense of self and who works at having a positive mental attitude, think about those weirdos that are running around the world that don't do anything for their mindset. Of course they're crabby and cranky and unhappy. And we're dealing with a lot of people like that. But what I want you to understand is we're dealing with a lot of people who have a lot of uncertainty in their life right now. They are not certain about market conditions. They don't know if the market's going to crash again. They are not certain that interest rates are going to come down below where they are. They're not certain that they will get to keep their job in the next 6 months. Because how many people have been laid off in the last 60 days? All of those contribute to people who are not ready, who are not like begging you to help them buy or sell a house. That is also why the skill set that you guys have had for years and years, or however long you have been developing your skill as an agent, those skill sets that have gotten you here are not going to continue to serve you 2 or 3 years from now, because you're going to need to elevate those skills. You're going to need to work on your ability to overcome the objections that people have. The skills that you need now are more developed and are more personalized to the situation of the client that you're working with. And you're going to have to put in more effort now than you ever had, than you ever needed to before, right? Does that make sense? Cheryl, were you going to comment on that, love?
Uh, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, I agree with the staying positive and not looking back. It's really hard in this
Hmm.
situation. I'm like you. I was around during '09
Yeah.
and started my career pretty much doing short sales, which
Hmm.
really sucked, but at least it was business.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, market conditions. Um, it, it's it's slow, and we are really suffering from the lack of buyer leads.
Yep.
And I can get in the mindset that working on seller leads and getting listed, so when things change, we're well positioned, which is that's what I have to keep telling myself
Yeah.
because of the absence
Yeah.
of buyers right now. So that's where
Yeah.
my mindset.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That is a tough mindset too. Like I know agents, obviously just like you guys, I know agents who are running away from listings right now because they are so exhausted from carrying inventory for the last 6, 8 months, 9 months, or a year that has not moved, has not sold, has not made them any money,
Right,
that they are trying to pivot, saying, I only want to work with buyers because I can't make any money at sellers right now.
right,
And I will go so far in telling you that the problem is there aren't enough buyers right now in the market because of the conditions, right? There are very few buyers, so few buyers that creates a lot of standing inventory and the buyers are harder to find. The leads that you get for buyers are crummier and crummier because there's a demand for buyer leads right now as agents all over the country are sitting with inventory. And so
right.
these companies know that there's pressure on them to provide buyer leads, but there are not buyer leads that are shopping for houses online right now because they're not confident about their job. They're not confident about the economy. They're not confident even the only people that are shopping right now are the people who have had a life event that require a transaction or people who are being relocated corporately or retirees with money.
Exactly.
The move up buyers, move down buyers, even people that are first time home buyers, those people are all on the sidelines right now. And they're waiting to see what happens, which means you have 3, 4, 5 buckets of buyers that you normally would be able to pull from that are on the bench. So, how do you continue to earn the kind of money that you're used to making or that you want to earn? Where is your business going to come from? Are there listings still being sold right now? Honest question. Are listings being sold right now?
Not mine.
In my area, yes. They're
Okay.
lucky if they stay on the market for 3 days.
Yeah, you're dealing with a whole other ball of wax. Like Cheryl would love to be in your position right now. Trust me. Unfortunately, Melissa has lost out on a couple multiple offers in the last 2 weeks. Like we haven't seen a multiple offer in Western North Carolina in a year, probably in certain price ranges, yes. But in general, we have not.
Right, right.
Right? We also had a Category 5 hurricane. That also impacts our business on the Western North Carolina side. But those of you like Melissa that are in a very busy market where things do, if they are conditioned properly for the market and they're priced right, they are not sitting on the market, period. And there are multiple offers, and the buyers are still having to give up rights that they shouldn't. But she's frustrated for a different reason, right? Melissa, you want to talk about why you're frustrated? I can tell you, I can put the words to it, but I just wanted you to give you an opportunity to share because you are in a very drastic different situation than a couple other people on this call. And I want other people to know that the doom and gloom that you see in your hyper local area may not actually be doom and gloom, and that there is hope in other areas. And that means that the market is not dead everywhere, and that has trickle and ripple effects in other places. So, Melissa, do you want to share with them why you're frustrated right now?
Sure, yeah. So I have a buyer client that I've been working with for a while now, very specific on what they're looking for. And when anything comes on the market, not only is it multiple offers, but they're waiving everything. They're waiving home inspections, they're waiving appraisals, and they're not cash deals. And on
Right,
top of that, they're going for 40 to 60,000 over asking price. So
right.
even though we're offering 15 to 20,000 more, it doesn't matter because the terms are cleaner. So it's my client was like, well, let's go up in price, and we did that recently on our offer, but I told him, I said, don't waive a home inspection. You know, you owe it to yourself for a home inspection. I'll never advise you to waive one.
Hmm.
And it's an older house, 24 years old, and got well over asking price for it. So it's just frustrating. It really is. And it's nothing sitting on the market here. So it's not like I can go back and look at older inventory and be like,
Right.
here's one. So
Right.
especially in the pocket area here, nothing. I mean, it goes on the market on Friday. They're accepting offers until Monday, and they're making a
Yeah.
decision on Tuesday.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
can't catch a break.
We used to have that market.
Yeah. And she's in Northern Virginia. Where are you, in Richmond or Northern Virginia? Where, what part of
I'm in Short Pump.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, the reality is that the frustration for Melissa is she's working really hard and she's writing offers. And when you're writing offers, you feel like you're closer to a paycheck, right? And she's writing offers and they're not getting accepted. So her buyer's getting frustrated, she's getting frustrated. And then the other side of that coin is what happens to these buyers that are paying 50, 60, 70 grand above list price? They're foregoing appraisals, they're foregoing inspections. What is going to happen when any one of those people calls Melissa back a year from now and they ask her to help sell their house?
Overpriced.
They're going to be underwater, right?
Right.
They're not going to have enough equity in their house to get out of it clean. This is also the scary part for people like Cheryl and I that have been around since dinosaurs roamed the earth. Not that you have, Cheryl, but I have. You know what I
I
mean?
get
It's in those of us that have seen that market in 2008. The frustrating part is that when you have all this inventory that's underwater, what happens to neighborhoods and values around it? Right? It
They go
impacts the
down.
property values. We see a lot more foreclosures. We see a lot more short sales. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the part where you don't run from listings, but you run to where the business is, right? So I'm gonna say that this way. It means that I understand you want more buyer leads because buyers are easier in some places. Buyers are easier to work with right now because that means that you might be closer to a check based on historical data about what's happening with listings. But I would challenge you to say if your listings aren't selling right now, are they conditioned properly? Are there things that you could do to improve the condition? Is the price really truly what it should be to get attention? And are you doing enough to market the property to get it sold? And for most agents that have just gotten in the business in the last 3 to 5 years, I'll be very honest that they don't know how to market the property properly because they've never had to market it for more than 30 days. They've never had to find different strategies week in, week out for 6 months to 9 months to get the right buyer. They've never had to do that. And they don't know how to do that because no one's ever taught them because they never had to. Because the house flew off the market within the first 30 days, sometimes within the first 10. So what I'm saying is your skill set that you guys have, I want you to evaluate as you go into the second set, this second half of 2026. What skill set do I need to allow myself to thrive with the adjustments that I need to make based on what's happening in my market? What skill set am I missing? Okay. This is the assessment that I want to share with you guys that we're going to talk about. I want you to take just a few minutes. It is up here in the chat. It's called the Mid-Year Reset and Momentum Scorecard. I would love for you guys to download that, print it, like keep it by yourselves, or if you don't want to print it and download it, you can just I'm going to open it for you right now, and you can write it down on a piece of paper and total up your score when we are done, if that's easiest for you, because it's not really a fillable kind of form. But let's talk about, I want you to score yourself. This is not to judge the first half of the year. It's not with judgment. It's about assessment, right? Assessment means we're evaluating. It's not judgment, we're evaluating. So the purpose is to gain clarity, create momentum, and to finish stronger than you started. I want you to rate yourself from a scale of 1 to 10, not based on your potential and not based on your intentions.
Based on your actions.
It's based on your actions, right? Your actual performance during the first half of 2026. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can put it in the chat if you want to, if that's easiest, what would you score yourself on lead generation from 1 to 10. You can write these down if you want and then total it up at the end. Just take a minute and go through all of these categories and rate yourself 1 to 10 in each one. Ayana, we are ranking ourselves on a score of 1 to 10 in these categories on page 1, lead generation, meaningful conversations, etc. You can either just write down the scores and total it up at the end, or you can put it in the chat, or you can print it, whatever makes you happy. But I want you to just evaluate yourselves so that we can talk about where we are in this evaluation about how we feel. We're being honest about where we're strongest, where we're weakest, and what our health grade is in these areas specifically. Let me know when you guys are ready. Are we all good? Or are we still working? Where did I lose Melissa? I can't keep people in this room. They just
You sent this to my phone instead of my email, and I hate to do
it's
this
okay.
Zoom on my phone.
I
And
got you.
I'm,
I got you. I forget. Are you a Mac user or a PC user?
yeah, Mac.
Okay. So when I send you something on your phone, you should
Uh-huh.
be able on your Mac, go to the messages and open it up on your messages on your Mac. Like they talk to each other. So you
Well,
should be
I
able
don't
just to
see it
click.
in my email, but
No, it's in the messages because I texted
ah,
it to you. So go to your
see,
messages app.
I'm a fairly new Mac,
It's okay,
so
girl. I am too. I
so
don't know any of these codes. Don't worry about that.
I love my Mac. I
Me
love the
too.
quality of it, but I'm still new at finding stuff and
I
using all aspects. So
I totally get it. I'm
yeah.
here to help you out, girl. Don't worry.
All right, good. I need some help.
Yeah, you and me got some time set aside tomorrow to get through some things for
Well,
sure.
I thought today too.
Yeah,
After,
we did.
but
We will
okay,
today. Yeah,
okay.
I got you. Thank you for that
I
reminder,
need
though.
you. I need you.
I got you. I got you.
Okay.
I got you. All right. All right. Are we just about there? I know you're not doing the whole worksheet right now. We're just doing this top part. Okay.
Laura, I do have to hop off at 2. I have another meeting,
Sure. Sure. You're fine.
but I will be going back to watch it on YouTube.
Don't worry, girl. I know you will. You'll have to answer to me tomorrow if, I'm just kidding. All right. So let's just share what our do you guys want to share your scores or keep them to yourselves? Do you care?
I
What's your
posted mine.
I posted mine too.
I
Okay,
made a,
perfect.
I made
That's
a,
all. I love that. I just didn't see that in the chat, so forgive me. Hang on. I love that. Oh, there she is. All right. 49. Okay. Ooh, all right. How about our totals?
Maybe I didn't give myself enough credit.
No, I don't think you did. Because you are your worst critic, and we already know that. You just don't meet your own standards. But I know just because you don't know what the norm is. You don't know that it is completely um it is actually pretty impressive what you've been able to do in a short period of time. You just don't realize that yet. So you're not giving yourself enough credit for it because the end results still aren't there yet. You're making traction and you're getting things written, you're getting clients, but and you've had some closings. So
Yeah.
to you, you're just still are not where you think you should be, but I'm here to tell you that you actually are right where you're supposed to be.
I'm
Um,
not closing 20 deals a month, but I will be there one day.
Girl, if you were closing 20 deals a month, you should be
I
teaching this
know, I meant a
class.
year. I meant a year. I
As
meant a
I was
year,
like, I'm coming to your class if you're closing 20 deals a month, you know. So,
right?
at the end of the day, 49, I mean, look where that puts you, right?
I
Because you
know,
were
I
really
saw.
hard on yourself, right? But what the whole purpose of this, anybody else want to share what their score was? Or did you already do it and I didn't see it? Okay, girl, you're hard on yourself too, I know, but we got a lot on your plate. You've had a lot of admin. I'm talking to Ayana at the moment, but you've had a lot of admin functions and a lot of distractions that's why you're at a 30, but we're working on that. So I'm not worried about you in the second half of that, but I think that's a real important analysis for yourself to be honest and say, you know what? I'm doing okay, but I could be doing better, right? We all feel that way anyway. I'm doing okay, but I could be doing better. All right, so let's talk about the next part, which is like your actual life. Because I actually almost gave myself a grippy sock vacation for more than a day myself last week. Just mentally, the load of the responsibility that I have on my plate, on top of managing two teams, on top of my coaching clients, on top of my businesses, it's a lot. And this is where our physical health, our mental health, and all of our relationships and happiness and all of that, it all derives from our sense of self and our enjoyment of what we're doing. And so I want you to rate yourself on a 1 to 10 as being the CEO of your life in each of these categories. Where are you on energy? How is your physical health? Have you been to the doctor in more than 5 years, in a year? Have you been to the dentist? Have you gotten a
Boy.
colonoscopy? Have you gotten a mammogram? Have you talk to a therapist, whatever. Have you gone to the doctor for hormones? All the things, right? Family relationships. Are your family getting the crumbs of what's left over and your clients are getting the whole cookie, right? Are those relationships suffering because you do not have the structure in place to run your business more efficiently that allows you to have a work-life balance? How's your faith or spiritual growth? If that's important to you, is that an area that you're lacking in? Is that an area, if that's something that you care about, is that something that you are not dedicating the time or fulfilling whatever that is for you? Your financial piece, I already know that's going to be in a low number for a lot of you, right? For all of us, really, because the changes in market impact our financial piece, right? When we're not making the kind of money we were making. I used to make $450,000 a year in Nashville. And when I moved to Western North Carolina, that was cut by, I made 115 grand the first year I was here. That's a huge lifestyle change. That's a huge impact on my family, right? And when we're not making enough money, it impacts us financially, and financial peace when we are not in a good place financially, we make bad business decisions. Think about that. What listings do you take that you wouldn't have taken otherwise if you had plenty of money in the bank? Would you walk away from some listings that don't serve you or are not in alignment with you? Which buyers do you agree to work with, even though they're an hour and a half away because you need a paycheck? And you don't know that market like you do yours, but you're licensed to go do it, so you go do it. But you do not make good business decisions when you are not in financial peace, when you don't have any financial peace. Personal growth, you all are in this room. So I already know that you're doing well in the personal growth part, that you guys care about your business, you care about yourself and developing yourself as a business leader. But sometimes we're just skimming the surface of the personal growth. We're not actually doing the work that's required there. Okay. Your work-life balance, we talked about happiness. Right now, this is the part where I'm trying to encourage you guys. And I know this is not as simple as saying I need you to find gratitude or or a simple gratitude practice is going to change that. But my point is that I believe in small wins and stacking small wins because those create momentum, right? Your happiness is a choice. Your happiness is a choice. You can choose to wake up in the morning and say, you know what? The world is swirling around me, but I know what I'm capable of, and I can only control what I can control. A lot of us are carrying around the heaviness of the world. Turn off the news. Get off of social media if you're not promoting yourself or loving on someone, get off of it. If you're sitting there waiting to criticize somebody and be a keyboard warrior, you're waiting to have some opinion about something, go find something else to do. Go read a book. Go walk around in nature. Go look for birds. Go smell the trees, feel the grass under your feet. But all of this that is swarming around you on social media, on the news, even your toxic friends and family that are bringing up these conversations that are too heavy for you to hold and have, that is impacting your happiness. You get to choose who gets access to you and who gets access to your mindset and your mentality, your energy. Are these people draining you? And if they are, you need to put some boundaries in place because it's affecting your happiness. And then your sense of purpose. This is the part where I'm frustrated right now because I'll share my own personal story. My sense of purpose right now is in question because I feel like I give so much to my coaching clients. I give so much to my team. I'm stretched very thin. I'm giving so much to my clients. I'm trying to be a good wife. I'm trying to be a good mother. I'm trying to be a good friend. All of the things that we're carrying around as responsibilities. My sense of purpose is in question because I'm not feeling fulfilled. Part of why I'm not feeling fulfilled is because so many people are struggling and I'm taking it on as my responsibility. I'm
And
carrying it
something's
as
got to give.
something has to give. And the expectation that I am responsible for the results of others is my work, right? Because that's not my responsibility.
That's right.
My my responsibility is to support these people,
Right.
but not at a sacrifice of myself.
That's right.
Right? And that means this is why I need you to evaluate your own life assessment in terms of my purpose, though. This is the clarity that I got last night because one of my coaching clients right before this call told me, she goes, Laura, your eyes are so bright today, and your hair looks pretty, and your smile is so bright. You just look so happy today. And the reality is that last night and last week, I felt like I was at the end of my rope. That is why I wanted to have this call today, is because we're all in that same boat paddling together. And I need you to understand that my purpose, you need to understand your purpose as well and your why that you're doing this. Because why are we going through the heartache and the suffering and the inconsistent income and the hard financial conversations and the damaging of our relationships and all the stress that comes with this industry and this job? What is the purpose that we're willing to do this? Because I believe we do this because we want to help other people. I believe that we do this because it's a skill set that we're good at, that we know we can help people navigate a really stressful, hard thing, and that they are better off with our help than they are trying to figure it out alone. And that I sometimes can protect people from legal problems, from financial problems, from time wasting, like all the things that I can help them with. So I want you to understand, are you in alignment, your actions in alignment with your sense of purpose? How are you delivering? How are you showing up for what your purpose is? Are you even aware? So how would you grade yourself? This is funny. You can tell ChatGPT made this for me because it says A, B, C, D, or F, and it gave you the score, but you got to go back up here to see what the grade is. So which one you gave yourself. So if you totaled up the score 1 to 10, and this would be the rubric on those categories, what are we looking at in terms of health? Give me your totals.
B.
79.
Somebody said B. What did you say, Felicia?
D.
79. Okay. Um, 54. Okay. Now,
I'd like to speak to that because
please, please.
I've at my ripe old age, I've gotten to where I'm more protective of
Good.
me.
Mm-hmm.
When things get stressful and things overload, I go into automatic protection mode.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I was not able to do that.
Yeah. You learned how to self-regulate was the
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
when have I done everything that I can reasonably do and realize that things on outside sources are negatively impacting me that I have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a key thing for me for self protection,
Mm.
is to recognize that I know that I'm not doing everything I can to improve myself, improve my situation financially,
Sure.
but if I choose not to do that, then understand the results of that instead of letting it cause stress to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
kind
sometimes we have to be accepting of the consequences, right? Like, but we're okay with the consequence because that's the
of
boundary, right?
right,
We have to say, hey, I might not be doing everything I'm capable of. I know that, but I'm not willing to do everything I'm capable of if it's going to cost me my health, if it's going to cost me my relationships, if it's going to cost me financially. I could be doing more,
right,
but at what cost does that give me, right?
exactly, exactly. And I think that's in only each individual can determine what that is
Yes.
for
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yeah.
having come from industry where there was a lot of stress, like I say, uh, years ago, I couldn't manage that as well, but now I'm it's like I can set that aside.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that doesn't mean that stress still doesn't happen.
No, of course, you just manage it
It's just
differently,
managed
right? Like we
different,
just learn how to pivot faster or differently without
right?
the anguish and agony. That's the reality. And most
Right.
of us in this room, just because I know everybody in this room pretty personally, most of us have just learned how to pivot out of survival, right? Like that's what was required. We needed money and we needed to make sure that we figured out how to make that happen and we were going to do whatever it took. And unfortunately, we learned the lesson sometimes the hard way of at what cost did
At what
we
cost?
at what cost? And again, I used to work 100 hours a week,
Yeah.
100 hours a week easily. And I could run circles around a lot of competitors. I could run circles around a lot of agents, but that almost cost me my life, right? It almost cost me a relationship with my wife. It almost cost me the relationship with my children, right? So again, we all get to decide but at the end of the day, that's where I want you to understand that there is no room for shame in the expectations that you put on yourself, even if you know you're capable of more. It's okay to be capable of more, but at what cost would it require you to do the more, right? There are some things you can do on your own that you can say, yeah, I could be doing better at this, and there's not a big cost, right? But
Right.
sometimes some of the things that you know you could be doing, it is going to come at a cost. And so you get to choose. But I don't want you to choose yourself and then feel guilty and shameful about it.
You got to find your balance.
Yeah. All right, let's celebrate some wins because we did some analysis and I saw some F's and some low scores, and we're not sitting in a place of shame, right? So I want to know what is one of your biggest wins so far this year? You can put it in the chat. Biggest win you've had so far this year. This is the part where I'm telling you, you have to look every day for a win. You have to look every hour sometimes for a win. Sometimes you got to stack those. At the end of the night, I will write down sometimes what some of my wins for the day were because I'm so exhausted by the end of the day, hearing everybody's problems, taking on everyone's issues, that sometimes I'll feel very unaccomplished at the end of the night. And I need to reframe that before I go to bed and say, no, I actually moved the needle today. Let me tell you how I moved the needle. Those wins are stacking, and I'm focusing on the wins instead of the things I'm beating myself up that I didn't get to today. Okay. I also want you to tell me. So let's start with what's my biggest win so far this year. I got really crabby when I'm super stressed. Yeah, me too. Signed two clients this week. That's fantastic. My biggest win this year so far is I'm learning to step out of my comfort zone. Yes. And Cheryl moved to Epic. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you so very much. I love it. What am I most proud of? This doesn't have to be for the year. You can just say in general if you want, or what are you so proud of this year? What are you most proud of this year. Because again, some of us have not had the best years that we would normally think of as being prideful. Like, oh, I'm really proud of what I did this year. I've had numbers that blow that last year's numbers out of the water, but I'm still very proud of the work that I did. And that became evident to me. This is the mindset shift is I was looking at my team's total numbers for 2025, and I wasn't that impressed because quite frankly, when I owned my brokerage in Franklin, we had a whole lot more sales. We had a whole lot more contributing agents, and I have a much smaller team here, and we have a harder market in Western North Carolina. I actually took a pin on a map of North Carolina and dropped a pin everywhere where we had a sale. And it caused me to look at not the fact that it wasn't 82 houses or 100 houses. It was look at where we were involved all across the state in Western North Carolina. And I got to see 72 families that we impacted or 72 people and that was a different mindset to say, you know what? I am proud of that after a hurricane, after having two deaths in my family and losing my favorite dog. This is what we were still able to accomplish. And I'm very proud of that. And I want you to find how you can find, even when you're being critical of yourself, what are you still most proud of? Because the pride in yourself is leading to your confidence, and that also helps you with momentum. When you're are any of you motivated by beating yourself up? Because I'm not. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't inspire me to do more or better. It makes me feel like crap about myself. So that's where I'm trying to just at least teach you, okay, what am I most proud of? Let me see what you guys wrote. Oh, Ayana, I am so proud that you asked for help too. It is the biggest, my heart is so full on how much courage that took and that you did it. And you didn't die, did you? Were there really bad fallouts from that or repercussions from it?
None.
No, no, but I'm so proud of you because guess what you did? You had a corrective experience that told you it was okay to ask for help, which means that you will do it again because it wasn't bad. You didn't die, right?
Right.
That's the point. That's the lesson that we needed to teach you was that it's okay to ask for help, right? Because
Yeah.
what you were fearing didn't even exist. The
Right.
judgment that you thought you were going to get for asking for help only existed in your mind, not in theirs, right?
Exactly.
So I'm
Yeah.
very proud of you. Cheryl, I'm very proud to expand my knowledge in business, doing things differently. Cheryl, I'm very proud of you for taking a chance on Epic and very proud of you and trusting us with your business. Even though it has not been the smoothest transition, I know where you're headed, and I'm very excited about what this business is going to look like for you and Bob, right? I'm very proud of you for that, you know? Felicia, what's the thing you've been most proud of, love? Two sales. Okay, got you. That you have two clients this week. That's fantastic. In 1 week, that's fantastic. Especially as a newer agent. I'm very proud of you for that. I actually am
This
proud of you. Go ahead.
this one's going to have some complications. It's a
Of course.
grandmother. She wants to get her grandchild in this house. The house probably going to list it for 320, but they want the mortgage payment to be 1,400. And I'm like, I don't know how we can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the seller buys down the rate, you might get it closer, but I don't know about 1,400, but you know.
Suggest grandma put some money in it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
Grandma, you're going to have to do a little more this time
yeah.
to get there.
She's willing to co-sign, but that doesn't help. I mean,
Yeah.
$1,400 is not going to buy a $300,000 house.
That's
Not
right.
today. Not today. So unfortunately, every deal we have today is actually a little bit more complicated. So there are no easy softballs today. I haven't seen a softball in a while. They just keep getting more and more complicated, you know, and we're dealing with a lot more hoops that we have to jump through and problems we have to solve to get to the closing table. That requires skill.
I
That is
did
what I
have
was.
I did
Go ahead.
have a positive
Good.
experience.
Good.
Also, we're closing on a cash deal Monday,
Yes.
and that, of course, as you know, is a whole lot less complicated and a
Yes.
quick sale.
Yeah.
And
Can we get eight
after,
of those? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. After beating ourselves up for not having the activity in the business that
Yeah.
we're used to, it's like, okay, blessings flow,
Yes.
because that one's easy breezy.
Yes.
And
And
yeah,
I
and it's
agree.
rare, but it happens.
Yeah. What I love is that you know, you were you were pausing and fearful a little bit. You were nervous, right? Like, because
Oh
we all
yeah.
are. You're making a big transition, right? You're changing companies. You're kind of almost changing sometimes about the way you're doing your business too. And that's scary when you know what you have done and what it produced. There's fear there, right? But one
Right.
thing I will tell you, and I am a person of faith, but I will just say, faith part aside, I will tell you that whatever you give attention to is going to blossom and bloom, right? Like you
Mhm.
are capable of producing the blessings in a variety of ways for yourself. And now you have more tools and technology and opportunities than you
To
did
do it.
before,
Right.
right?
Right.
So,
That's still a
Felicia,
massive step when you've had as many moves as
yes,
we've had.
yes,
But and I've just decided I'm not going to be fearful of technology,
yeah.
which is my big
It's our
hurdle.
nemesis sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and all the
Yeah.
different things that you can utilize now. And
Hmm.
I've been fearful of those things for years.
Sure.
It's like I hate social media. People
Yeah.
do great with social media, and
Hmm.
I just have opted not to because I hate it myself.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, and
I
it's a
mean,
time suck and it doesn't always produce results. It doesn't produce business for some people. So I get it,
and
you
some
know.
people really think it's like a real primary thing that they do that they get a lot of business from.
Right.
And
Right.
but it just technology and I found all that stuff pretty scary
Hmm.
and not reachable for me and my old mind.
Yeah.
But
It
but
is though.
I've decided not to be scared of it. It might just
Good.
take me the rest of my life to do it well.
It's not going to take you the rest of your life. We're going to equip you with the ones that you need to worry about and which ones you don't. And it's
Mhm.
just about picking and choosing what's for you and what's not for you. I'm proud of you for taking the leap and not listening to the fear. That's it.
Yeah.
Felicia, I also wanted to say that I'm very proud of you too, being a brand new agent, that you reached out for mentorship and coaching right out the gate instead of waiting until you needed it. You wanted to be better prepared. You also aligned yourself with a team that could help give you more opportunities and teach you faster, which accelerated your learning path. And that to me, you should be very proud of taking ownership of what you want the outcome to be to get quicker results. And you were willing to invest in yourself in order to make that happen. So for that, I'm very proud of you. Okay.
Feel like that gave me a really strong foundation.
Agreed. Agreed. What did you guys learn about yourselves so far? And I know, Ayana, you got to go in a few minutes, so I'm going to start with you. Ayana, did you learn anything about yourself this first half of the year that you wanted to share?
I did. I learned a few things, but right off the bat, I learned that well, in the latter of the months, I learned that I take on more than I have to do by myself.
Yep.
Um,
That's what you know.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm there with
exactly.
you.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I have that problem myself.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
used to.
it's hard to beat, but I'm getting there one day at a
Yeah.
time. I'm
Yeah.
getting there. Um, also learned that I need to work on my time management and
Yeah.
consistency and follow up.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in life, and here I am at 51, and I'm just now learning the word no
Oof.
and the different variations of it.
Powerful.
Mhm.
No is a complete sentence, by the way.
That's what my daughter tells me all the time.
Mhm.
No is a
She's very
complete
smart.
thing. Yes. So,
She's very, very smart. Well, I'm very proud of you. I know you're going to have to run. I will see you tomorrow, darling. Thanks for being
okay.
here today. Felicia or Cheryl, anything you want to talk about in terms of something you learned about yourself in this first half of the year?
I
I think,
learned that
go
I'm a
ahead.
lot sharper at 64 than I thought I was going to be.
Yes. Yes. You are. You're a lot more capable, you know, than you think you are too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cheryl, anything for you that you
Now, I
learned
think
about
I'm
yourself in the
shared.
first
I've
half?
shared my hurdles, and
Okay.
but
You've
yeah,
done great.
I do need to work on that whole taking on more with my partnership
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
with Bob, which is,
Yeah.
he is like so easygoing, and if he'll let me do it all, if
Hmm.
and how to manage that is my biggest challenge.
Well, there are things that you're going to have to decide for yourself. If he doesn't do them, is it
Mhm.
okay if you don't do them as well? Like you have to be okay with deciding, Bob, where do I
Exactly.
need to pick up the slack and where is it that I shouldn't be picking up the slack? And is that okay with you guys that
Right.
you're not going to pick up his slack? What does that mean? Again, what's the cost of that, right?
And as a team, we've for 15 years, we've been working together, but if I need him to do something and I need it for for me not to have to do it, I have to be so careful about how I do that. And so that's just, that's relationship stuff, but it goes beyond that because we're partners in life as well.
Hmm.
So it's a juggling act type situation.
Always. Working with your partner and
Yeah,
being your business partner is not easy. It does take some delineation of tasks and it takes some communication when things are not. I like the way Felicia said that because I know she just envisioned working with her husband and that's why she went, no way.
exactly. I mean, it's not easy, and so
No.
it seems like the longer we do it together, the harder it is. So
Yeah.
that's my personal challenge. But
Okay.
learning more about how to manage that. So
Yeah.
I'm not the one that's picking up all the slack. So
Right.
yeah. So
And again, he also has to step up and recognize it. It's like that woman that did this experiment where she was not going to touch a single thing in the house to see how long it took her family to notice if
yeah.
she didn't touch things and do things for them.
Oh,
And
they
I
don't
think
do.
she went a full 30 days and every day she documented the condition of the house. And she would, if you followed her for 30 days, you saw the bowl of milk from her kid's cereal sitting on the counter and it was there for 12, 13, 14 days. And my point is like with you and Bob, there's a list of things like that that you will naturally just go do because that has been your role or because you know it needs to get done to move the needle. That is where you and Bob have to have a conversation and say the delineation of the tasks. This is mine, this is yours. And when you guys see, when you start documenting, okay, now what's not being done, that's where we can decide, okay, who does what and what's not going to get done by you. He either has to step up to do, or you both accept that that's just going to be that way,
Right.
right?
That's why I need you as mediator
Yes,
because the way our
yes,
division is, but he can't just completely rely on me to do all
yeah,
the admin stuff.
yeah.
It just,
And I'm sure he has during this transition, and that's also put a little bit of
oh
stress
yeah,
on you.
it's getting
Yeah.
worse. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
we'll talk
Well, we
about
want to
that.
stop that. We want to nip that in the bud. We'll take care of that today. Don't worry. So, I want to move towards the inspiring part here, which is let's think about our strongest strengths right now. And I can tell you, both of you that are still on the call, I know that your weakest area is technology and leveraging technology for both of you probably is one of the lower things. It might be time management as well. It might be I don't know. It may be something else on that list that is your weakest area. But I want you to think about if you just picked one of those areas and you decided to drastically pay attention to that one area over the next 90 days, what kind of impact could that have in your business?
Well, I'm so
I
new to
actually
all this.
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm
Go
just so
ahead,
Okay.
new
Cheryl.
to all of it. Any of this that I can feel comfortable with is going to be improve the business, period. 'Cause
Yeah.
I hate things hanging out there that's not done because I don't know how to do it. So, but that's my primary thing, and I know we're going to be working on that. So,
Yeah. Good. Okay.
mhm.
What were you going to say, Felicia?
A good friend of mine is she's got stage 4 lung cancer and she's not doing well. We have
Mm,
a charity event for her Saturday, so I
yeah.
basically took 2 weeks off planning this charity event.
Yeah.
Got back to it this week, and boom! But I forgot to tell you, I did a rental this week too.
Okay. All right. Now, do you make decent money on rentals in Florida?
I'm charging him a month's rent. It's my brother.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah. In some places, like we don't even get a month. In some states, you get $200 or $100. So some places rentals are not even worth the time,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't do them.
yeah. Okay, I love that. I just want you guys to be thinking, and it's in that workbook. I hope that you guys will print that out and actually do the work in it and reflect on some of the stuff that's in it. But one of the things I just want you to think about is if I can just address it, I'm not trying to get you guys to address every area of weakness or every area that you scored yourself a low score on. Just pick one for the next 90 days and say, I'm going to dedicate some time to addressing that weakness over the next 90 days and what kind of impact that is going to have on me. If you don't think about the impact, you won't do it. You won't address the weakness. You won't spend time working on the weakness. You have to accept the fact that there's an outcome that you're hoping is going to come from that, that is going to motivate you to work on it. Does that make
I've
sense?
got to adhere to my schedule.
Yes, 100%. Y'all, the time is the most precious asset you have. And you know this, when I look at all of my coaching clients' calendars, the things that are on their calendar are not in alignment with what their goals are, nor is it in alignment with who they serve. 9 times out of 10. The things that are on
Mine
their
is.
calendar are busy appointments or admin crap or meetings that they could have skipped or training, which I'm glad you're here. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm saying, like, are the things, this is once a month. You can commit to once a month. I'm saying on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, is your calendar a reflection of your business?
Mhm,
And is it a reflection of the activities that you need to do to earn a paycheck?
mhm,
That's what you need to be in control of. Let's talk about our momentum killers because this is the thing. When we get busy and we get things under contract, we have business coming in, that builds momentum and there's excitement in that. It's like a drug. That's why I've been in this business 27 years because every sale that you have is like a drug. You get another one, you're like, "Okay, where's the next one coming from? Where can I get the next one?" To me, that's how it's always been, right? Yeah. Let
Trying to
me
get
get it, right? Let me get a hit of that dopamine when someone hires me, right? And that builds momentum. The problem, though, is that momentum does not stay on this trajectory without action. And the
right.
action that got you the momentum is the first thing that we take our foot off of when we get busy. And so the 5 momentum killers are lack of conversations. Are you meeting enough people? Are you talking to enough people? Period. And we know we're not. I'll tell you right now, you are not,
Everybody.
right? It takes 20 conversations to get one appointment. And it takes 5 appointments to get a contract typically in this market right now. So if you're not
I keep
talking,
getting them. I get them the first day.
well, you know what, Felicia?
I've been lucky.
You're a freaking rock star, and I know it, and you know it, and you are very fortunate. I will tell you this. I've always had a high conversion rate too. If I had an appointment, if I got in the door, it was about a 98% chance that I was walking out with a client, and very rarely did I walk out without one. I was very proud of that, and I have been my whole career. To date, to date, prior to moving to Western North Carolina, I only lost one listing that I that I interviewed for in my entire career prior to moving to Western North Carolina. What worked for me in other states does not work for me here necessarily. The people that I'm meeting with don't have the same confidence in me, or maybe I'm showing up differently. I don't know. But what I will tell you is that my conversion rate is higher too. I will tell you that most people don't have that high of a conversion rate, and so they have to have more conversations. They have to get more appointments in order to close the numbers that they need to. Most people do not talk to enough people all day long. The second momentum killer is the lack of follow up. We have the best intentions, and most agents will go 1 to 2 touches. It takes 7 to 10, and especially if they're a stranger. Now, somebody who's already raised their hand, like lit up the flare in the sky, has had the plane with the banner come by saying, "Help me, help me." Those people don't need 15 conversations to hire you. But if you don't have enough of those people that have raised their hand in your pipeline, you got to go talk to people to fill your pipeline. And the
Mhm.
follow up is where the business is won. The follow up is where the business happens. What were you going to say,
We had
Felicia?
an event on Cinco de Mayo,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a buyer's appointment scheduled with him on Zoom, and he stood us up.
Hmm.
And so I was thinking, oh, the heck with him. But then when I got back to it on Monday, I thought, all right, let's start some follow up.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. and you were able to connect with him, but he didn't want to talk to you on Cinco de Mayo. I wouldn't have either. Right? Like just think about timing, right?
We were
The
giving
other
away margarita tickets. Of
Well,
course,
I
he
mean, I'll
wanted to
come
talk
for the
to us.
margaritas, but you're not going to talk to me about buying or selling a house, you know. But the
No,
point is the events, open houses, the marketing that you do, the things that you mail to people or send to people, those all require more than one conversation to convert them to a client. So, how
Mhm.
strong is your follow-up game? The third one is the lack of consistency. This is the part where you guys win awards. And I say you guys as in the whole collective audience that's going to watch this on YouTube, not just you two here in the room. The lack of consistency is the momentum killer because here's the thing. You're doing things consistently that produce some results. You get excited and get the dopamine hit from the results that it's producing. You get distracted by trying to maintain the work that it's producing. And you take your eye off of the consistent activities that let you get to here. You stop doing those consistent activities. And then what
that's
happens
true.
is when the work that you generated dies up, now you are left to start all over again in the
No pipeline.
momentum. You're
No
on the bottom
pipeline.
of the hill.
No pipeline. Yeah.
None. You got to start all over. The fourth one is a lack of clarity. This is the part where all of you guys are golden because we've talked about who your target clients are and we have helped you identify who it is you want to meet with and who you want to work with and who you are in alignment with and who you have access to. Most agents do not have that kind of training, and the momentum killer comes from them being very distracted by every bright and shiny idea that flows into their head and takes them off of the consistent things that they already know works. They're going to be willing to try anything if they think it will make them money. But clarity is knowing what's for you and what's not for you. And it also is in your consistency in your messaging. This is the part where I tell you guys, if you tell me you want to be a luxury real estate agent and I do an audit on your social media and I see that you are promoting first-time home buyer programs, you're not in alignment. Your messaging is not in alignment. It doesn't mean you can't sell something to a first-time home buyer, but your messaging does not attract the people that you're trying to work with. For example, the agents that love to work with people to repair their credit and restore their credit. I love them because there's a need for it. But when you promote those kind of programs, what kind of people are you attracting?
Bottom feeders.
The people that have problems with credit, right? Because they
That
are
wasn't a
coming
good
to you
word.
for help, right? So I want you to be cautious and careful about the clarity and making sure that you are keeping your momentum intact by staying focused on what's for you and what's not for you. And don't get distracted by the bright, shiny objects. And then the last one is a lack of courage. I'm going to say slash confidence. The momentum killer is the courage is the fear that's in the back of your head that says, when I am thinking of doing a strategy or hosting an event or stepping outside of my comfort zone to try something new, and I am afraid of being judged by other people, I'm afraid it won't work. I tell myself that no one will show up, and I give myself 3,000 reasons not to do it instead of the confidence of saying, this is for me, this is for my people, and I know this is going to be an incredible event, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to improve upon it, and I'm going to make it better. That's confidence, and that's courage to do it anyway. I'm going to tell you right now, they do not make statues of critics, and those critics, those people who are you're afraid of judging you, are not paying your bills. So who cares what they think? Do it anyway. Do it scared. Do it excited. Do it fearful. Do it in tears. Do it intrepidously. Do it however you want to, but do it. Have the
And then
courage.
you're not scared because you have experience.
Have courage to do it anyway. Because you can be scared and courageous at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. So don't kill the momentum that you've worked so hard to get because you let fear get in the way. You only have one chance to make a great first impression with people, and you are responsible for generating income yourself. No one is coming to save you, and no one is coming to pay your bills for you. So if you can listen to the fear and you can kill all the momentum that you worked so hard to get, um, or you can do it anyway. Okay. Momentum does not come from motivation. People who are gym rats do not wake up every day and say, I'm so motivated to go to the gym. They wake up and they get motivation from going to the gym. They take action. Don't look at me talking about the gym as fat as I am. I'm just giving an example. My point is that action creates momentum. You take action, it produces results. Results give you confidence, and then the confidence builds momentum. But you have to take action in order to get momentum. It does not fall out of the sky. And it doesn't happen naturally just because you picked up the phone and called somebody once. The three numbers that matter in all the analytics and all the things that you guys are focusing on, it's not the technology. You know, I teach and coach technology. I love technology. But technology isn't necessarily how people make their money. Technology for me for many years has been about what can I do? How can I leverage technology to be able to be capable of doing all the things that I do in the limited time that I have? And what tools that I have that help me be a better agent, that help my presentations look better, that keep me organized, all the things. The only three numbers that matter are your conversations. How many did you have? How many appointments did you get out of those conversations? And how many contracts did you write? Those are the only three numbers that matter. Everything else follows those three. Okay? Is there anything that you guys can identify that's holding you back right now? We're not going to a breakout room, but I just want to know, is there anything you think that's holding you back right now?
The market.
The market, I think, is a huge concern. But Cheryl, the mindset part that you and I are going to work on after this is that when I go into Canopy every day, there were closings. There's closings happening. So is the market so terrible, or is it my part in the market?
I guess just the pickings are slim, and you
Yes.
have to do more to
Yes. The
get
market
an
conditions
equal
are
or
hard.
higher amount of activity.
Okay. Can you change the market yourself?
No, but I can change
You can
what
pivot your
my
strategies.
activity
That's right.
in order to get a greater portion.
Correct. You got it. Right. So here's the part that I just want you to think about in terms of what things are holding you back as you're analyzing the second half of this year. What is holding me back? What is that costing me? And what could I stop doing that's holding me back from achieving what I know I'm capable of doing, regardless of market conditions? Because I'll be honest with you, even earlier when Melissa was on the call and talking about multiple offers and things going so fast, and by the time the client finds it, when we were in that market before, we had to create our own inventory. We had to find houses that were off market. We had to scour the tax records. We had to find property owners that weren't even thinking about selling their house, that we
Right.
convinced them to do it. That's
Right.
how you pivot to
Mhm.
overcome the market conditions that exist, right? If you have a lack of inventory, you go create inventory. You have a lack of buyers, then you help create confidence in the buyers so more buyers enter the market,
Right.
right? You help address why now may not be the perfect time to buy, but is it still an acceptable time to buy? It's always an acceptable time to buy, right? I want you guys to imagine the next 90 days, not the next 6 months, because again, I want to pull it into a smaller bucket for you. I want you to imagine it's September 30th, and you had the best quarter of your year so far. What had to happen in order for that to happen? In order for you
Well,
to have the best
I
quarter.
know what my situation is, but
Okay.
is to get back more aggressive with calls and follow-ups.
Okay.
I mean, but that's
Yeah.
getting my systems
Yeah. You
better,
and I are going to address that today. I'm going to show
better
you something
functioning.
today that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
love that.
that will make a big difference because we've already gotten some calls from our past Zillow list, and
Sure.
those people have been sitting out there for 3 months with only like one communication. So
Yeah.
that's got
So,
to change, and we know that
yeah.
will a difference. And
And
so,
how frustrating is it when we go into our database and we go to make a call and we find out that somebody that was already in our database has bought a house from somebody else or listed their house
oh
from
yeah,
somebody.
oh yeah, I'm
It
sure that,
happens to us all day long, every day,
yeah,
right? But this is your reminder that you already have clients. You just have not mined them from the sources that you already have them.
right,
You
right,
already have buyer opportunities waiting for you. You would just have not done the work to go find the buyers and get the
right,
buyers.
right,
Okay? That is
right.
the mindset, Cheryl, that I need you to hold on to. It's not that there aren't buyers out there because there are still people moving to Western North Carolina every day.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
how do I get myself in front of them and capture them? Okay. And that's all I'm trying to tell you is that yes, the market conditions are tougher. They are harder,
Yeah,
but people are still buying and selling. So if they're
exactly.
still buying and selling, then I have a part in that. And there's enough business for me in there too.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Felicia, what would have to happen for you to have the best quarter of the year?
Good to meet you,
It-
Felicia. I've got to jump off.
Thanks for being
Nice
here,
to meet you,
Cheryl.
Thank
Cheryl.
you. All right.
Appreciate you. I'll text you as soon as I'm done and we'll connect. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, love. Felicia, what do you think would have to happen in order for you to have the best quarter of the year?
To stay on the track I'm on right now.
That's all right. Keep doing what you're doing because what you're doing is working and producing results, and you're seeing evidence of that.
And when I was in my listing appointments, trying to not breathe cat pee,
Yeah. Jesus
her
Christ.
granddaughter was on the phone with somebody and she goes, I've got a real estate agent right here. Let me get her a card. This little girl's looking to buy a house. And I said, no.
I love it. So, what are you going to do about the cat pee situation? Are they going to replace flooring and subfloors? Are you like
She
what's
wants to bring her granddaughter and her boyfriend want them to buy the house. And I'm thinking, I don't think you're going to be able to sell it to anybody else unless we really, whew.
mm-hmm.
But
That's
she's
going to be
taking the cats to the Humane Society tomorrow.
oh
I couldn't say anything to her, but it was
yeah.
overwhelming.
It's a lot. I've been in those. I'm trust me. I've been in houses with cigarettes, ferrets, poop, like meth, weed. I've also been in houses with certain cultures that their house just smells. It stinks. Like it smells like whatever they
Indians.
cooked.
Yeah, Indians. Mhm.
Whatever they cooked, and that's also hard because how when people walk in the house to show it that it hits them in the face and you want them to have a pleasant experience when they see the house too. So
Yeah.
these
I
are
like
the
the
hard,
smell, but not everyone does.
yeah. And again, I love Indian food. I'm not even saying it's just Indians. I'm saying like they're very, very pungent smells and those become then a condition of the property that is affected, right? And then that,
I, I had an issue with that very issue recently.
yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You walk in and it smells good to me, but not everyone not everyone likes to smell
Yeah.
garlic. Not everyone wants to smell the Indian.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
love both.
Yeah, well, I do too, but when you're looking at houses, you want to be looking at the houses and you're not distracted by the things or the smells or whatever,
I
right?
keep the game plugins in my car.
Yeah, which is good, but those also can be overpowering for people and problematic for people that are very sensitive to smells. It's
Ooh,
tough. There's no real solution to it. At the end of the day, the purpose of this call was just to really analyze how our year has been, to really have an honest conversation with where we are for the rest of the year, to identify our strengths and what's working, to own the fact that we need to make sure that we're celebrating our wins and we're stacking those wins and to keep that negativity and the negative mindset out of our space because you can't function with it. You don't need it. The other
I feel
part is
good about that.
you are. I'm talking to everybody else too, like not just you,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying that was the purpose of it is to make sure that we stay with the positive mindset and that we protect our peace, you know? And then the other part is that making sure that we're having enough conversations, that we are following up. We're looking at those momentum killers that we talked about and not letting them kill our momentum. We did not work this hard to get momentum to let it die, right? The momentum is what's needed to get a paycheck, right? So if you don't follow up, if you don't have clarity, if you are not having enough conversations, if you are not improving that, and if you're not paying attention, to the basics that got you here, you're going to be starting all over again, over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So going into this next year, I really want you just to pick one of those areas that you didn't score yourself so high on and say, what can I do to change that number over the next 90 days? Don't pick all of them, just pick one, right?
It's
And
going
I
to be
want
time management.
yeah. And time management, listen, there's all kinds of people out there to teach you how to manage your time. At the end of the day, you're the only one that can decide, is this
I know
going on my
how.
calendar or not? Do you set reminders for yourself or timers for yourself to keep you in the windows? Are you good about protecting your time and saying no to things that you know should not be on there? Or do you accept it and then have to back out? There's people that do that too, that they don't want to say no, so they just accept it and then they later cancel because that feels less scary or something. I don't know. It's annoying to me. I would rather you just not accept it to begin with than to
I
take it,
know. Be
right?
honest with yourself.
Yeah, just be honest. And it's easier just to say no, a complete sentence. I'm sorry, this is not for me today. I'm sorry, this is just not something I can take on right now, right? You need to learn how to say no. At the end of the day, I want you guys to hear me tell you this. We are all in the same boat. We're all paddling together. This is a very difficult business. It is becoming harder and harder to um, stay positive. It is becoming harder and harder to, find clients that are not so difficult and they're becoming a little abusive. So I want you guys to stick up for yourselves and put boundaries in place to protect your peace. And if I can implore you to do anything, is take care of your health, right? Make sure that you are taking care of yourself because none of the rest of it matters if you drop dead tomorrow. Anything you have in your pipeline doesn't matter if you can't fulfill it.
Right.
All right. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'm so glad to see your face, Felicia. I missed you. So thank you
Good
for
to
being
see you.
here and participating today. I'm really proud of you and the work that you're doing and the results that you're getting. Keep it up. Okay. Make me
Thank
proud.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys have a great day out there. And if you need me or anything, you need the resources that I put in the chat, you can always reach me at Laura Dahl at epic.me and I will send those to you right away. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys next month. It is always the first Thursday of the month, which I think for July is
New
that's
York.
actually going to be July 2nd. So it's right
Oh,
before
okay.
right it's the first Thursday usually. So that's right before July 4th weekend. But it's going to be a good one. So I will see you back here in July. We're actually talking about high impact client and community events, which I love talking about. So I'm excited about that. And I will see you guys next month. Thanks again for being here and for participating. I appreciate you. Okay. Have a good day, darling.
You too.